Clelin Ferrell, how do you pronounce his name? Is it Ferrell or Furl? I always heard Mike Mayock saying Clelin Ferrell. And I was like, is that the correct pronunciation?
I'm
going to say Ferrell.
Yeah.
Ferrell.
Is it Clelin or Clelin?
Ooh. Is it Clelin? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's the thing. He's essentially Solomon Thomas. He's like the Raiders version of Solomon Thomas. Mm-hmm. I guess the Niners got him for cheap. And, they had to replace Samson Ebukam, who ended up getting a nice contract. And, I guess he's a good run defender, if you want to say that. But, man, he's not a pass rusher. This one seems like not going to move the needle too much.
No, it's definitely not like a home run hit by any means. But they do have a lot of depth that they've got to fill. And
is it a bunt single?
Maybe, yeah.
Hey, they're laying it down the third base line. Third baseman's playing way far back. He just might leg it out. Okay, hey, it's worth a shot.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think Clelin Ferrell is. I think it's one of those moves that Chris Kaceric's going to make this kid better. And he was in a really crappy situation with the Raiders. You got drafted by one regime. That regime was pushed out for obvious reasons. Now you had a whole nother regime come in. You never were really given a fair shake. Actually, his rookie year was not bad at all. If you go look at his rookie year, was not a bad rookie year. He just was he was unable to build upon it. And I think this is a Chris Kocurek special. Like, we'll just take a Raider guy that underperformed and we'll make him perform. That's what we do here in San Francisco. Arden Key, we'll do it with him. No problem. And I think that he'll be a good rotational piece for sure. I think that he can be that. Nothing special, but definitely depth that was needed.
True. Now, there's only so much Chris Kocurek can do. Like, he can't make you good if you're not good. Like, for example, Komoko Toure, really good athlete, but doesn't seem to have that, like, bend or whatever, that je ne sais quoi that an edge rusher needs to win. He doesn't have it, although he's a good athlete. And Chris Kocurek couldn't fix it. And frankly, with Arden Key, it's not like Kocurek worked magic. He's just like, you know what? You're not going to win on the edge. Let's move you to the inside. Let's use you in some games. And let's put you next to Nick Bosa. It wasn't that. And let's get you off the ball a little bit quicker. That's what Kocurek is very good with, all the defensive linemen. But other than that, there's only so much he can do. So with Ferrell, it seems to me like they've put a lot of their eggs in Drake Jackson in that basket. They drafted him last year. They kind of prepared him. They knew Ebukam wasn't coming back. This is Drake Jackson's job. But his major weakness is defending the run. That was the book on him coming out of USC. They said they didn't like his power and strength at the end of last season. We'll see what kind of shape he comes in this year. Maybe he'll be a 3-down D end, or maybe he needs Clelin Ferrell to play on first and second down for him. We'll see. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm so sorry.
You call him Clelin Ferrell.
That's how Mike Mayock said it.
Ferrell, and it'll be good.
We'll meet in the middle. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Potato, it doesn't matter. I think, and he's kind of a tweener. He's a lot actually like Solomon Thomas when you really think about it. He's kind of a tweener. You don't know where he's going to be best, and so he is kind of that guy. But it's something about, I mean, if you put him next to Armstead and Hargrave and Bosa, I mean, all of a sudden, a lot of people could probably look decent in that situation, So
it'll be a really good run defense. It'll be a really good run defense. But the Niners' formula for getting to the Super Bowl that one time was having 4 pass rushers. Yeah. I mean, and that year, if we remember correctly, the pecking order was Bosa 1, Buckner 2, D Ford 3, Armstead 4. And Armstead ended up with 10 sacks because he was feasting on one-on-ones, and he was like 25. Since then, they haven't had 4 guys. They've had 1 or 2. Now, I still feel like they definitely have 2. They definitely have 2. If Armstead's around, and then maybe 2.5, depending on Armstead, 2 or 3.
But if Armstead's your third option, I feel like that's where Armstead thrived, was when he was like the third or fourth option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus he got
when he was 25.
That was a rough spot for him to be.
He's 30, but he could be. He's a wild card. He hasn't been the last couple of years, but if he gets put back in the in the rotation where he should be, he's not an ace. He's a third or fourth pitcher. Yeah. But I still feel like you need that. That means Drake Jackson needs to step the hell up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe they're both half, and there you go. You got your 3. Do you?
but
Let's
I'd
talk
like
about
one more.
Buckner for a
I
second.
want
I
one
don't know
more.
if you saw.
Sure.
Oh, you.
Sure.
I was
I just
gonna
want
say,
one more. I think the Niners should draft a D end in the 3rd round. This is still a need, but we can talk about Buckner. But they have 11 picks. Of course, they're going to take one. But one that could
Yeah.
contribute would be nice.
Yeah. Well, they still,
Because you don't know that Drake Jackson's going to come in really good. You should give him some competition. You don't want him to be Ambry Thomas. You don't know with Drake.
By the way, getting Ferrell doesn't mean that you're out on other free agents. Possibly, they still need more defensive ends.
Don't you get the feeling though that they're done getting like signing big names because they're going to preserve their comp picks?
That's possible.
You know, they got the 3rd round waiting for them with McGlinchey. They got the 5th waiting for them with Ebukam. Probably, a 6th for a Many Hugh. I mean, they got some comp picks waiting for him. Jim, yeah. Some most. Yeah. Anyway,